Hello, friends.
Welcome to episode 17 of our podcast, Kidsplorers. We're so excited that you're joining us on our journey to explore and discover new things. You might remember that in our last episode, we had the privilege of learning all about how our city manages waste collection from the wonderful Kate Dykman. Kate is the manager of solid waste management at the City of Vaughan, and she offered us incredibly useful information about how our city manages compost, recycling, and garbage. She gave us very useful tips on how we can all take better care of our cities and our planet with the use of the 3 R's, which are reuse, reduce, and recycle.
That's right, and if you guys haven't listened to that episode yet, go ahead and check it out. You will definitely pick up on super important knowledge.
Absolutely. And this week, we bring you another amazing topic. You see, friends, at the end of last week's episode, Isabella suggested that we should explore the topic of the pyramids of Giza. Now, to explore this topic, we will need to travel back in time, but just a bit.
Just a bit? What do you mean? We need to go all the way back to the time of the ancient Egyptians.
That's right, and I just can't wait. I want to learn all about the pyramids.
And I want to learn about pharaohs and mummies. Speaking of mummies, Mummy, how are we going to do that?
Good question. You know, something very strange happened today. When I was checking our mail this morning, I found a letter from Professor Smartypants. But instead of writing, there were little pictures on the letter.
What kind of picture?
Well, let's take a look. Okay, so the first picture on this page is of a man. Then there are a few pyramids. Then a woman with 2 children, an airplane, and more pyramids. I wonder, what could this mean?
Mummy, don't you get it? Professor sent us a message in hieroglyphics, which is the writing system of the ancient Egyptians. If I understand this correctly, he's saying that he's in Egypt near the pyramids and that the 3 of us need to fly out and meet him by the pyramids.
What a great plan. So, what are we waiting for?
To the airport.
Whoa, this was a super long flight.
It really was. And this heat, I feel like I'm in the desert.
Silly, that's because we are in the desert.
Hey, do I hear my friends complaining about the heat?
Professor Smartypants!
Hello, friends. It's so nice to see you. I haven't seen you in 2 whole weeks, and I missed you so much. It sounds like you got my letter since you came all the way to Egypt to see me.
We did, and I can't wait to finally see and learn the pyramids today.
Me too, but talking about the pyramids, how are we going to get to them?
Today, we are going to travel in style, just like the ancient Egyptians did. Meet our luxurious mode of transportation.
Whoa, donkeys! So fun!
These wonderful animals will bring us all the way to the pyramids.
So what are we waiting for? Let's go!
Okay, guys, we're here. Wait, why are you guys so quiet?
Professor, I think you will need to give the kids a minute. They've been looking forward to seeing the pyramids for so long that they're probably in shock and can't believe that they're finally here.
Oh my goodness. I can't believe I'm next to the giant pyramids.
They are huge, beautiful, incredible, but how? How could people have built this in so many thousands of years ago?
Okay, I can see you're gonna have lots of questions. Lucky for you, I spent the last couple of weeks exploring the pyramids with incredible archaeologists, and I will tell you all about it. But I think we should start at the very beginning.
We really should, and I know a cool fact we can start with. Did you guys know that the ancient Egyptian civilization started around 3100 BC? That's like 5,000 years ago.
Wait a minute. What is civilization?
A civilization is when a group of people come together to build a community with a shared language, culture, and rules for life. By working together and helping each other, these groups were able to build cities, build a culture, create new professions, and do so many more new and interesting things. Now, can you guess why ancient Egyptians chose these regions to establish their civilization?
I know, it must be because of the river Nile. Living in such a hot climate, having a river close by meant that people could farm, which was very important at that time.
That's absolutely right. Around 5,000 years ago, ancient Egyptians started to settle around the river Nile, building this giant civilization.
And this civilization is known for many things. For example, people today know the civilization for being ruled by pharaohs, a word that means kings. It is also known for its religion. Can you guess how many gods and goddesses the ancient Egyptians prayed to?
No idea. How many?
Ancient Egyptians believed in 2,000 deities or gods.
2,000? That's a lot of gods.
That's true. Gods were very important for ancient Egyptians. People at this time believed that the gods had almost magical abilities to help them with things like farming, fertility, health, and so much more.
You're right. The gods were seen as very powerful. But this is where it gets interesting. The pharaohs who were the kings were also seen as not entirely human. They were seen almost like the children of gods.
Do you mean like demigods?
Yes, in fact, in the ancient Egyptian religion, there was a god whose name was Isis. Isis was known as the mother of all the pharaohs. To regular Egyptian people, this meant that the pharaohs were much closer to the gods, and that the gods actually chose the pharaohs to rule the land and the people of Egypt.
This is super interesting. Given that the Egyptian people of the time followed religion very strictly, it sounds like they would treat the pharaohs really as though they were gods.
That's true, and actually, as we dive deeper and explore the pyramids, it will become very clear that people did everything that the pharaohs requested.
Great! I want to explore these pyramids. I want to know everything about them.
Let's do it! As you can see, we are standing in the city of Giza, which is just outside of Cairo, the capital of Egypt. Giza is home to 3 of the most famous pyramids in the world. But can you try to guess how many pyramids there are in total in Egypt?
Wait, there's more pyramids than just the ones we see? I didn't know this. Maybe there's 10?
Not quite. There are actually, get ready for this, 130 pyramids found throughout Egypt. But the pyramids of Giza are so spectacular that they are listed amongst the 7 wonders of the world, which is a list of the most magnificent places of our planet.
Whoa, that's incredible. Wait a minute, but where did the Egyptians get all the materials to build these structures? And even more important, who built them?
Great questions. Well, archaeologists believe that it must have been taken at least 2 million stone blocks to build each of the pyramids we see, and it took at least 100,000 people to build them. People used to believe that the pharaoh had slaves who built these pyramids, but today, most scientists believe that the builders were not slaves and were actually paid for their work.
I heard that for many years, the pyramids of Egypt were considered to be the tallest man-made structure in the world. I actually read that the pyramids are 481 feet tall and are just slightly shorter than the Washington Monument in America.
You are correct, but things have been changing. The archaeologists who I've been working with this week actually told me that the pyramids are slowly sinking into the ground, They have already sunk 25 feet since they were constructed.
Oh no, why is this happening?
You see, over the years, the building faced many different natural factors that changed them. Some of the factors are wind and the state of the land under the pyramids. This changed the way they look.
Another really interesting thing about the pyramids of Giza is that they were actually built to have completely flat sides. This was done to represent the rising of the sun god, whose name is Ra, as he created the other gods.
But did you know that before these flat-sided pyramids were built, Egyptians built pyramids that looked like giant steps? Ancient Egyptians thought that the step structures would allow the pharaohs to climb up to be with the sun god after his death.
Whoa, this is very interesting. But I still don't understand how people could carry these heavy stones all the way up and why the pyramids were built in the first place.
Great, we finally got to the most important questions. You see, because the pyramids are so close to the water, the stones were carried by ships to Giza. Then they were transferred by land and dragged to the site where they were needed. The smaller stone blocks were dragged by about 8 workers, but some of the larger stone blocks needed as many as 45 people to drag them. Special ramps were created to help bring these stones all the way to the top. It took about 25 years for a single pyramid to be built.
Now that we've learned all of this, I think that it's time that we understand why it was so important for these structures to be built. You see, the ancient Egyptians very strongly believed that there's an afterlife after they died. To prepare them for the afterlife, it was very important for pharaohs to have everything they might need.
And this is where the pyramid comes in. The pyramids were built to be tombs, or places where pharaohs were buried. These pyramids contained all the things that the pharaohs needed in the afterlife.
What kinds of things would the pharaohs need after they die?
There were many different things found in the pyramids when archaeologists discovered these incredible buildings. They found that the pharaohs were buried with things like food, treasures, perfume, and many other items. Archaeologists also found that the pharaohs' family members and even their pets were buried close to them in the same pyramids.
What I found very interesting when I learned about the pyramids and the pharaohs was what happened with the pharaohs when they died. You see, since the ancient Egyptians believed in the afterlife, they thought that a person's spirit, which is also called the Ka, could live after they died. This is why it was very important that the pharaohs would be preserved or kept in the best possible condition once they died. To preserve the pharaohs, the ancient Egyptians would mummify them.
Mummify? Is this where the word mummy comes from, like the Egyptian mummies?
Wait, but the pharaohs were boys. Shouldn't they be called daddies?
Good one, Isabella. But to go back to Daniel's question, you're right. Mummification is the process of preserving a body once the person dies. Ancient Egyptians used special chemicals to preserve the person. To do so, they also needed to remove the person's organs, but they always kept the heart. Ancient Egyptians believed that the heart was the center of a person's intelligence and emotion, and without the heart, a person would not be able to get to the afterlife.
Once all these different steps were taken, the pharaohs were wrapped very tightly in a special cloth and placed in a coffin called the sarcophagus. This process of mummification allowed the pharaoh's body to be kept in a good condition, as they believed that they would need it in the afterlife.
Thousands of years later, when the archaeologists were studying the pyramids, they saw many of the pharaoh's treasures in the pyramid. And of course, they also saw a well-preserved pharaoh in the sarcophagus. Discovering all of this allowed them to learn many things about ancient Egyptian, giving us much of the knowledge that we have about this civilization today.
This is also incredible. I absolutely love to learn about all the things that archaeologists discovered in their explorations. Hey, it's kind of like what we do every week.
It absolutely is. And the work that archaeologists do is super important. And it sounds like the ancient Egyptians had an incredible civilization with a very rich culture and religion. I feel like there must be so much more we could learn about the ancient Egyptians and the pyramids that we should probably come back to this topic again in the future.
I love that.
Professor, thank you so much for inviting us to Egypt with you and for teaching us all of this incredible information and knowledge. We've learned so much about ancient Egyptians, the pyramids, and of course the pharaohs. I think it might be time that we head home now.
See you soon!
To the airport.
Ooh, this was another long flight, but it's so nice to be home.
I agree. It was a hot and super educational trip. Hey guys, I actually have a joke for you. What did one pyramid say to the other?
I don't know. What did it say?
How's your mummy doing? Get it? Because the mummies were in the pyramids?
Okay. Hey guys, have we decided what we'll explore next week's episode?
I actually wanted to suggest that we explore who Charlie Chaplin is. He is one of my favorite actors, and I just love watching all his movies.
I love this idea. Charlie Chaplin's movies are some of my favorite movies, and I'm so excited to learn more about him with you guys. Friends at home, we hope that you've enjoyed exploring with us all about ancient Egyptians and the pyramids of Giza. Join us again next Sunday as we explore another incredible topic, Charlie Chaplin. We really hope that you enjoyed tuning in to today's podcast. If you enjoyed exploring these amazing topics along with us, we would really love it if you could leave us a review on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or any other platform that you listen to us on. In the review, please include some of your topic suggestions of what you would like us to explore, and we will be super excited to learn about this topic with you in future episodes. You could also send us an audio recording with your topic suggestion to our email, kidsplorers.podcast@gmail.com, and we will be super excited to feature your message in that episode. Your reviews are so important for us as they allow our podcast to grow. You can also connect with us on Facebook and Instagram by searching Kidsplorers Podcast. We always love hearing from you.